Imagine giving your entire life to a man who preached holiness, truth, and loyalty only to discover that the image he projected to the world wasn't the same behind closed doors. Pastor Gino Jennings, a name synonymous with fire and brimstone preaching, built his reputation as a fearless voice in the pulpit. His sermons echoed through packed churches and viral clips, calling out sin with authority few dared to question. Yet now, shocking reports suggest the man who taught others to live righteously may have been struggling to keep his own home from falling apart. And the most heartbreaking twist, his wife, the woman who stood silently by him for decades, has allegedly filed for divorce. At first, no one wanted to believe it. Gino Jennings had been the model of moral discipline, the man whose words shaped entire congregations. To the public, his marriage was a perfect reflection of his teachings, stable, devout, and unshakable. But behind that image, whispers began to grow. Mrs. Jennings, once the quiet figure always sitting front row during his sermons, started disappearing from public events. Her absence was subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. When followers asked where she was, they were told she needed rest or time to pray. Yet insiders whispered that her absence had less to do with faith and more to do with fatigue, the kind that comes from years of silent struggle. Those close to the family said the cracks in their marriage weren't new. It began with disagreements over the church, the endless travel, and how often Gino was away from home. Over time, the debates turned emotional. He preached about loyalty and obedience from the pulpit, and some church members felt those words carried more personal weight than ever before. Rumors spread that he was speaking not just to his congregation, but to his wife. Mrs. Jennings, the woman once admired as the picture of patience, reportedly grew weary of living under constant public scrutiny. Her friends said she felt unseen, reduced to the role of the pastor's wife rather than a partner in her own right. Then came the moment no one expected. According to insiders, Mrs. Jennings quietly filed for divorce without a press conference, without a public announcement, just quiet paperwork through private lawyers. But secrets rarely stay buried. Soon alleged screenshots and leaked messages began circulating online, said to be from Mrs. Jennings herself. They painted a heartbreaking picture of emotional distance, control, and loneliness. "I feel invisible," one supposed message read. "People see his power, not my pain." The internet exploded. Devoted followers called the leaks fake, a satanic plot to destroy a man of God. Critics, however, said the messages felt too real to dismiss. As the storm grew, Gino Jennings remained completely silent. No denials, no statements, not even a cryptic post. That silence only deepened the mystery. Some saw it as strength, proof that he wouldn't dignify gossip with a response. Others saw it as guilt. Meanwhile, new claims emerged. Former church members began hinting at a culture of control within the ministry, one where women were expected to be submissive and unquestioning. Then a chilling twist surfaced. A leaked voice recording said to be Mrs. Jennings speaking about feeling trapped in a marriage where appearance mattered more than love. Whether real or fabricated, the audio sent shockwaves through the Christian community. As people dissected every sermon he'd ever preached, more voices joined the conversation. A former associate of Gino's claimed he had witnessed the tension firsthand, Mrs. Jennings leaving meetings in tears, walking out of church functions in silence. The man said she had sacrificed her peace for years just to keep her husband's ministry intact. And when she finally chose to leave, it wasn't revenge, it was survival. The story spread faster than wildfire. YouTube commentators, bloggers, and church forums were ablaze with debates about holiness, hypocrisy, and the hidden burdens of spiritual leaders. Yet even amid the chaos, something remarkable happened. Despite the accusations, despite the leaks, many of Gino's followers refused to turn away. They saw him as a man under spiritual attack, a soldier of truth being targeted for his boldness. In churches across the country, people prayed for him, defending his name with fierce loyalty. But others began to question everything they'd believed. How could a man who preached about family order be losing his own family? Could holiness coexist with hidden heartbreak? The debate became bigger than one marriage. It became a mirror reflecting the pressure placed on those in the spotlight of faith. Weeks passed, and Gino finally appeared again in the pulpit. The church was packed, the cameras rolling, every eye waiting for a response. But he never addressed the rumors, never mentioned his wife. Instead, he preached about standing firm when the world turns against you. A man's strength, he thundered, is proven when the storm doesn't move him. Some wept, believing he was innocent. Others saw it as a calculated deflection, a sermon built on silence. That clip went viral overnight, not for what he said, but for what he didn't. Behind the pulpit, though, the damage had been done. Sources close to Miss Jennings claimed she had begun writing a personal statement and possibly a book about her years in the ministry. If true, it could expose even more about the pressures of being married to one of the most polarizing pastors of modern times. For now, she remains silent, while the internet continues to speculate. Was it faith that kept her quiet, or fear? Was his silence dignity or denial? One thing's for sure, the Jennings story has shattered the illusion of perfection. It's a reminder that even the most powerful sermons can hide the quiet suffering of the people behind them. As the world waits for someone to finally tell the full truth, one question lingers in every heart. What really happened behind those church doors? What do you think about this news? Let us know in the comments below.